What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 128 of the Monday Night Wars. I'm Chad Talks, and joining me, as always, is Jmack Gaming.
Hello, we are here. Starrcade 1998, the biggest show WCW has run all year. Are you guys hype? Because I'm hype. I don't get hype. I stay hype about WCW.
I'm pretty fucking hyped, dude. I'm nervous. Not gonna lie.
I'm extremely nervous. I booked it for you, and I am nervous for you. Yeah.
All right, you know what? We've waited long enough. Let's just jump right in.
I don't think you have enough celebrations, brother.
That might be the case.
All right, let's run the show. Don't look. I don't think anything's spoiled there anyway.
All right, so this is J-Mac's pre-show match. This is where it's kicking off Starrcade hot.
All right, so Dave Taylor, he wanders out to the ring, right? And he hasn't had a match in who knows how long. Sharkboy comes out. And he tries to pin him real quick, right? But Dave Taylor, he's a mastermind of the ring. He's a ring technician. He turns him around, and in 528, butterfly suplex, 1, 2, 3. Dave Taylor, he's got the Goldberg streak now, brother.
He wins at Starrcade.
Dave Taylor wins at Starrcade.
Now for this match. So, it was announced earlier in the day, before the show started, that there was going to be a 30-man Starrcade Battle Royal. And the winner of that Battle Royal would challenge Eddie Guerrero for the Global Championship. And in a pre-show bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Jushin Liger won a Battle Royal in 1934. The Final Four were Davey Boy, Disco Inferno, and Brian Adams.
Brian Adams, attaboy.
Attaboy, getting the Jinder Mahal treatment. Davey Boy Smith being the final elimination. And Davey Boy also got the most eliminations over the match because he did not want to do this job. But Jushin Liger, winning for New Japan Pro Wrestling, will face Eddie Guerrero later tonight for the Global Championship.
Jim Duggan's thigh muscle got distracted in the match.
Oh, no. What does that even mean?
Oh, boy. Orndorff doesn't even know either. It's like, I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what that means.
Ted, I don't know what he was talking about. He said
I told him, well, you better get him undistracted.
He said his thigh muscle was looking at someone else in the crowd. He couldn't control it.
He couldn't control it.
All right, let's move on to the opening match of the night.
All right, so we start the show off with the 6-man Money in the Bank ladder match. And about that great wrestling and good heat, Chris Jericho defeats Randy Savage, Diamond Dallas Page, Conan Luger, and Kurt Hennig in 1455 when Jericho wins the Money in the Bank title. And since you switched to something, I'm assuming something horrible happened.
No, this was a funny injury.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Chris Jericho is Mr. Money in the Bank, boys.
Nice. I really thought Savage was going to do it for
Well, there's some story to this. So the match happened. It was full of high spots. Conan did a dangerous spot. It was awesome. Jericho did a lion saw off the ladder. And towards the end of the match, Randy Savage was climbing the ladder. He was fingertips away. And then Chris Jericho ran up the ladder, hit Randy Savage in the face with the briefcase. And as Randy Savage looked down and saw his shot at revenge slip away as Chris Jericho grabbed it, and looked at him and laughed.
Oh, no. So we move on to the next segment, and Kurt Hennig sustained a bruised buttocks.
No, Kurt Hennig.
Fell off the ladder, landed on his butt.
Jesus. Yes, that did happen.
Oh, Luger did it. Luger hurt Hennig's butt.
Landed on Lex Luger's knee. Damn it, Luger.
They don't call it the torture rack for nothing.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. And then this guy celebrates his Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho celebrates his Money in the Bank ladder match briefcase win.
Good for Jericho. Building new stars here. Move on to the next match. I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's this
one. And a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. The Faces of Fear defeat the Legion of Doom when Mang defeated Road Warrior Hawk with the Boot of Fear.
Oh, man. 2 straight wins for the Faces of Fear over the...
They got 2 over on the legendary tag team. Welcome back to WCW, boys.
Welcome back to reality.
All right. Yeah, just a tag team match. So now, and about that good wrestling but not much heat, Ultimo Dragon defeats Billy Kidman in 10-10. Ultimo Dragon wins the WCW Cruiserweight title.
What a match.
What a match. So, Ultimo Dragon celebrates his win. You can go to the next segment.
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, no, it's okay. Ultimo Dragon celebrates his win. Billy Kidman jumps him from behind, starts stomping him, and all of a sudden Rey Mysterio's music hits, and he runs in with a steel chair. And he gets in the ring, and Kidman looks at him, and he's like, oh no. And he's like, hey, you settle down. And Rey looks at him, and he helps Ultimo up, and he gives him a high five and says, you want to kick this guy's ass? And Ultimo nods. And then they go to face him, and then Rey Mysterio clunks Ultimo with a chair.
Jesus.
And Kidman looks on, and Rey looks at him, and Kidman then gets out of the ring and goes to the back, and Rey just keeps chucking away at Ultimo with a chair. And then Rey looks at the Cruiserweight Championship and points to it with a sea of boos coming from the arena.
Boo.
So Rey Mysterio, boys, turning heel.
I don't think I clicked that. I'm going to be... There we go. Click it.
Alrighty. And about that decent wrestling, but little heat, the Hardy Boys defeat the Dudley Boys in a tag team tables match to become the first ever WCW Nitro Tag Team title champions.
Did a lot better than I thought, brother.
Me too. You know what? We're building stars here. The new age of WCW.
The show's doing a lot better than I thought, man. I'm scared.
And the Hardy Boys, they celebrate their win.
Okay, there we go. Let's both have excellent chemistry teaming with each other.
Yeah. Imagine how great this would be if we had Edge and Christian in it. All right, so, and about that great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Alex Wright defeats Ric Flair in 1447 by submission after Arn Anderson called for the bell, despite Ric Flair not actually tapping out. And Arn Anderson was made special guest referee for this match. And so we'll go to the angle.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So, Ric Flair's like, what do you do? And Arn's like, listen, you just took a huge beating, all right? You're my best friend. I had to end it. I couldn't see you sitting there in that submission hold. And then Ric Flair's like, what? I could have beaten him. And then he looks away at the crowd like, what's wrong with this guy? And then Arn Anderson hits him right in the face. And then Alex Wright and Arn Anderson start beating up Ric Flair.
So wow, Arn Anderson with his new protege Alex Wright.
Yeah.
Turning on the GM.
Turning on his best buddy, Ric Flair. Alrighty, and in a decent match for the television championship, Sid Vicious defeated Steven Regal, Canyon, and Rick Steiner when Sid Vicious pinned Chris Canyon, with a powerbomb to make defense number 2 of the WCW World Television Championship.
How did this squeak out a 78 when none of them did it better than a 72?
They're just great, that's why.
What happened?
Regal happened.
Oh my, wow, even that one did great.
And in a bout that had decent wrestling but little heat, Tommy Dreamer beat Sabu in a Texas death match. Sabu was pinned with a pile driver and could not beat a 10 count. Tommy Dreamer and Sabu's chemistry is what got them through this.
What a match, I guess.
What a match.
68, that's the lowest you've had this show, which is not bad at all.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And then I talked.
That's okay. And in a decent match, remember this was for all the belts. In a decent match, Ahmed, Ron Killings, and Stevie Ray defeat Dean Malenko, Raven, and Saturn in 1317 when Ahmed pins Saturn with a spine buster.
Damn.
Raven was head and shoulders above everybody else.
Raven should not be in these feuds, man.
No, Raven. I can say right now, Raven is moving on to bigger and better things.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. All right, so we go to the next angle. The Nation, Ron Killings, Stevie Ray, and Ahmed celebrate their championship wins. Ron Killings and Stevie Ray, the new WCW Tag Team Champions, and Ahmed holding up in one hand his hardcore title, and in the other hand his United States Championship. Ahmed's been treated very well since coming to WCW.
He has. I mean, he did get hurt his first main event match, but hey, whatever.
He's now a 2-time United States champion. All right, so Eddie Guerrero comes down to the ring and he's laughing. He laughs the entire way down the ramp, and he goes, when they announced this battle royal, I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous at first. I was wondering who was going to fight me for the championship, and I saw people in there. I saw Drago. I saw my nephew Chavo. I saw those proud luchadors. And I thought, oh man, if one of them gets in here, I'm going to have a run for my money. And then I saw Davey Boy throwing people over, and I was like, oh man, he could do something too. And then I saw who won, and it was Jushin Liger, and I laughed. And I realized that this is going to be the easiest Starrcade match in the history of Starrcade matches. This is going to go maybe a minute if I choose to let it go a minute. So Jushin, why don't you get your ass out here and try to do your best to take on Eddie Guerrero. All right, next match.
Oh my fucking!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What the
a
fuck?
92. Holy!
There we go.
That's what I like to see. That's a match of the year candidate right there.
There we go, boys.
And a bout that had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Eddie Guerrero defeats Jushin Liger in 15-10 with a frog splash. And with help from Chavo Guerrero, he makes defense number 2 of the Global Championship. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I was actually worried about how this was going to do.
I thought it would be like a 74, like a B-, but
So did I.
Man, oh man.
This is the match that puts Jushin Liger over, brother.
Yeah, that's... I don't have any words to say about that. Let's just move on.
I'll take it. We go now to Vader versus Steiner. And in a superb match, Scott Steiner defeats Vader in 12:58 with a Frankensteiner.
Vader died for these sins. Unbelievable. Good for Steiner. He's probably one of your top guys, I think.
Steiner getting a win.
Well,
alrighty.
Shit the bed.
And in a brand versus brand match, an exceptional match, Scott Hall defeats Kevin Nash in 1801. That means that Kevin Nash is coming to Thunder.
Oh. Oh, man.
Or, well, Kevin Nash is leaving,
Nitro.
is leaving Nitro. But you remember Scott Hall told Rick that he was going to tell him sign Kevin Nash.
All right, there we go.
Alrighty, so we're backstage. Randy Savage is pissed. He's in the locker room. He's sitting down. His head is in his arms, and he's just so discouraged. And he looks up, and Bischoff is in the ring, and Bischoff is pissed too. And he's like, when I put you in that ladder match, it's because I legitimately thought you were gonna win the match. All right, I will not let a match that I created on my own with no help from anybody win by a cruiserweight from Thunder. And to top it all off, now my best friend Kevin Nash is gone. So you know what, Randy? You know what? I just got done speaking to Ted Turner. Since Ric Flair can't do anything because he's unconscious, I went to Ted Turner and I processed a trade. You are sad because you can't get your hand on Sting? Well, guess what? You're not going to get your hands on any Nitro superstars.
Oh, no.
Because, Randy, you've been traded to Thunder. Say hi to Kevin for me.
Who's coming over?
We'll have to wait and see.
Is it Eva Marie?
It's 10 Eva Maries, actually. All right. Now, this was supposed to be a draw, so don't let that fool you. Because we want it to be a draw. So, in the submissions match, it's a draw. They go the entire time limit with not one single submission hold. And it's a B. I expect it to be better, but whatever. But after the match, Chris Jericho runs out. So basically, what happens is this: Bret Hart and Benoit have each other locked in with submission holds, and time is expiring in their submissions match. And it expires and it's a draw. But they're both at this point pissed off that neither one of them is going to win the belt. That they don't let go. They just keep it in, and all of a sudden, Chris Jericho's music hits. And Chris Jericho runs in with the briefcase in his hand, and he clunks Bret Hart in the head with it. And Bret Hart is holding his injury. So then Chris Benoit rolls over on his back, and Jericho hits him with a lion tamer. or the lion salt, and then puts in the walls of Jericho, and Benoit taps out. And the Mr. Money in the Bank is the first ever WCW Universal Champion.
Good for Chris Jericho. Not wasting any time to cash in that belt.
No.
What in the fuck is this? Why did this do good?
All right. So now, the match we've waited months for. Sylvester Stallone versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan comes out in NWO music. He's got a special NWO entrance. He comes out in a fucking NWO tank. You know, he's got all the NWO boys around him. Sylvester Stallone comes out to the Rocky Balboa music, and he comes out. He's got his entire entourage. He's actually got the cast of Rocky with him. He's got Adrian. He's got Apollo Creed. He's got his trainer, whose name I forget. He's got Paulie. He's going down. He's got the entire Rocky Balboa crew with him, and he gets in the ring, and he's wearing his Rocky gear, and they square off, and it's got unbelievable heat. These two were just going at each other. I've never seen Hulk Hogan look so determined to win a match. And same with Sylvester Stallone. He wasn't kidding. He looked like he knew exactly what he was doing. But at the end of the day, Hulk Hogan defeated Sylvester Stallone. And every time the NWO tried to get involved, Hogan kept telling him, "Get out of here. I don't need you. I got this on my own." And eventually he did just that. Hulk Hogan defeats Sylvester Stallone and 15-27 with an axe bomber.
Good for Hogan. Good for Stallone. Come on out. Come on out.
And now it's our main event of the night. Goldberg versus Sting.
I'll let you build it up before I.
Well, it's okay. We've got Goldberg's entrance.
Oh yeah.
Goldberg comes down with his awesome 100 rated entrance.
I think this has the chance to be the highest match of our save. I think this will be a 99.
He goes down to the ring, and you see a list of every single man Goldberg has beaten as he's walking down. Every single one. It shows their face, and then it shows and puts an X through it, and does that for every single guy Goldberg beats. Goldberg walks down the ramp. He gets in the ring, and everyone's chanting, "Goldberg, Goldberg, Goldberg!" And he takes a microphone and he goes, "Every single one of these men have fallen to Goldberg. Sting, you are no exception. You get your ass out here, because you're next." And we go to and an exceptional match. I don't care, we're still an A. And an exceptional match. Goldberg defeats Sting in 1443 with a spear, and Goldberg wins the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Not enough selling, Sean. Damn you, Goldberg.
And that's how we end Starrcade, boys.
Goldberg
continues the streak and wins the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
And a 91.
91. What was in your house?
96.
Oh man, you know what? Your show was really good, so you know what? I'll let you have this one.
Yeah.
But I think Starrcade was good too, so I'm happy.
I think Starrcade was great. Starrcade had some of the better matches, I think, with Liger and
yeah,
Eddie.
that came out of nowhere.
Stallone and Hogan getting an A somehow.
All right, guys, that was Starrcade. Let me know what you thought, or we're gonna make some speeches. I'm gonna give fucking Eddie and Jushin some props because not Devon.
I accidentally scrolled up.
Eddie and Jushin for putting on the match of the night, and then we're also gonna give Goldberg some some props.
All right, good shit. Let's make the speech. Let's see. There we go. All right, we'll end this episode right here. This has been episode 128. Leave a like, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you for episode 129. The year 1999 is upon